right now in Florida, we're in a county called Pinellas, and Pinellas is attempting to extort every business in the county into enforcing a mask law. Now, I'm under the impression that the governor has actually issued a counter order saying that they can't enforce mask mandates. But basically, the mechanism that they're trying to use is they're trying to get the police to extort companies into trespassing their own clients if they don't wear masks. Now, the cops have gone up and down this particular road and put a little blue sign on every single door saying this establishment requires masks. The ridiculousness is that if you sit down, you don't need a mask. And it's literally like 6 feet from the door to the tables. And so they're like, oh, well, but we want you to wear this mask during this small walk to the table. And then for the next hour that you're here, we don't care. But then, for that 10 feet where you're walking back to the door, we want you to wear masks. This is an absolutely useless regulation. And I'll tell you what, if anybody out there has ever been trained in NBC warfare by the military, or you've been trained as a medical personnel who goes into situations where you don't know what contagions are at, and you know about the different levels of hazmat gear, you know that a mask is nothing. Like, it's not even level 1. It's nothing. It's literally nothing. So the idea that somehow wearing a mask for 10 seconds on your way in and out of a restaurant is going to help you, where you spend an hour or more inside the restaurant not wearing a mask, is absolutely ridiculous. However, the government, I don't think they care about whether or not the regulation makes sense. I think they care about the power and enforcing it, right? And that's what I've seen with most of the people who are actually engaged in enforcing this. They're kind of getting off on the power that they have over other people. Now, my point is that it's not proper for the police to extort someone. In fact, there is a legal principle, and I probably should have looked this up, where the police can't use a third party to violate your rights, right? They can't use a third party to get into a position where they can violate your rights. Like, for instance, they can't have somebody break into your home and then get a warrant to investigate the break-in, right? So the idea that they can't do anything, but then somehow they can extort the business owner or the manager of a business to trespass you against their will, right? Let's say that the manager doesn't want to trespass me, but the cops see that I don't have a mask. Well, they can threaten this person to shut down the store unless that person trespasses me. Now, as a person who never ever wears a mask, because quite frankly, I know the truth, it's useless, and I'm not going to have my liberties encroached upon. You people, I'm going to point the finger out at you, YouTube viewers. They said 2 weeks to slow the spread, and now they're talking 2 years. We can't let this happen, and the only way to actually actively resist this is for all of us to become ungovernable. Just say no. It's never going to end. They're never going to stop it. And I could go on and on about the reasons why it doesn't matter. Like the COVID situation isn't that big a deal. We are actually, this year, we're at 2.5 million deaths. Not from COVID, but overall, 2.5 million deaths. As it turns out, that is less than the average for the last 10 years. Over the last 10 years, the average has been 2.62, and over the last 7 years, the average number of deaths has been something like 2.7. Now, we are actually approaching, towards the end of the year, we should have about 2.67 million deaths if the rate maintains, which means that we will be under last year, under the year before, under the year before that, the year before that, and the year before that. That's 5 years. This will be the lowest death rate of Trump's term, ironically enough. So the idea that this is somehow a more dangerous time is actually verifiably false at this point. We can point to the numbers and say it is not more dangerous than any other year, and we do not need to take these precautions, and you definitely don't need to force them on people.